Welcome on in to the 411 podcast. It's a wonderful day today. It is a beautiful day today. I am broadcasting live from Celebration, Florida, and it's an amazing experience out here. I'm vacationing on a golf course, or basically, it's basically a golf course, and it's huge, and there's a whole bunch of things, and I got so many different things to, look at and check out. So I got one more day. Tomorrow's my last day in Celebration, Florida. But tonight, we are embracing truths tonight with my friend, Mr. David Wayne Fox, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. So, shout out to Brooklyn. I love my Brooklyn family. But before we get into it, I want to give a very special thank you to my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and serve each and every one of you. This three evolution so far has been amazing. It's been everything that I can imagine, it would be, and it's turning out to be exactly what I've imagined plus some. And thank you so much to all of my friends who hang out with me. SOS, we have Carol Cordero, we have Nate Perry, my friend tonight, David Wayne Fox. Last night we had Liz Bullard. So many different people. We have Queen Dawn Spirit coming up soon. We have Ian West, which I love speaking music with him. He's coming tomorrow. He's from Tennessee. So this was set up specifically, and I handpicked the people this time around because it represents a moment in my life where I'm actually turning the page, turning a new chapter. And listen, 2024 is right around the corner. So what better way and what better time is to get it together now? So I'm evolving into a new person, which means that we evolve and we change each and every day. So what we did yesterday is what we did yesterday. But what we got going on tomorrow is a whole new thing and a whole new plane. So song of the day, Truth Is by Fantasia. So when I think about truth is and the topic that we have tonight, which is living truth, it's about Fantasia speaking to an ex, telling an ex, you know what? The truth is that I'm really not over you. I'm still feeling you. I'm still loving you. And this was off of her Love Yourself debut album, which that is a whole nother topic, which we can get into when you finally learn how to love yourself. Or, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. Freeing yourself from a situation in some cases can be loving yourself, but that's a whole nother situation. We gonna stay with what truth is. So Fantasia speaking to somebody and pouring it out, saying this is the truth. This is how I really feel. So I'm gonna remix it and flip it around. But how about we finally get with ourselves and look in the mirror and start telling ourselves the truth. Start telling ourselves the truth about our lives and where we're going and how we're living. So when I speak about track 8, Living Truth, and again, if you want to get the full audio version of Living Truth, that is on X, formerly known as Twitter. It's X. You can go and listen to the whole Dis 3 Evolution series. It's 17 tracks, 17 different topics that I speak about. And right now, I'm just unfolding it, giving you the live version of it. So Fantasia is speaking truth, and I'm just saying, how about we just speak truth in ourselves and say, listen, this is who I am. This is what I like to do. I'm not going to put up with that over there. This thing right here is just not me. So how about we start living our truths? How about we start living our final truth and sticking with ourselves and not worried about attaching ourselves to other people, places, and things that no longer are serving us. So you're either going to live the truth or you're going to live a lie. So when I started to think back at my life, I was like, I'm living a lie because clearly this situation that we got going on here is not 100%. And I'm sitting here faking the funk. I'm sitting here taking pictures in front of all of these people. I'm sitting here showing up into rooms and sitting at tables that I was no longer invited to. I was no longer invited. I wasn't invited there in the first place, but I was just sort of like, shoved in these situations or felt that I was obligated to put myself into these situations. And I remember I was I'm going to go back in time a little bit. I was getting ready to go to this club or this bar, whatever it was. And I remember speaking to my friend, Miss Eugenia, and I was like, I got to get up and go to this, function. And she was like, what? You don't have to get up and do anything. The fact that you are forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do is already a problem. So in that moment, I was not living my truth. I was living somebody else's fantasy, living somebody else's dream, attaching myself to somebody else's situation just to get along with the get along. And then in reality, I was the only one who was unhappy on the inside. And then when that typically happened, all hell used to break loose and I used to turn into the Tasmanian devil. So finally, I had enough of that. I said, forget it. What's going on, Birdman? I said, I most certainly will not, going forward, live somebody else's dream. So what I'm doing, I'm living my dream and I'm living my reality and I'm living my truths today by being truthful to myself and saying, listen, that right there, nah, I'm not feeling that. This over here, okay, that's cool. I can hang out for a little bit. I can get with that a little bit. But that over there, I'm gonna have to go ahead and put brakes on that. So, song of the day, Fantasia. Truth is off of her debut album, Free Yourself. And I'm gonna touch base on Free Yourself because the title alone is just amazing. This is 2004. Please let me know what you were doing during 2004 when Fantasia came out with her first debut album. And I know when Free Yourself came on the radio, it was just like, for me, I could just breathe. Even though I wasn't free at the moment, as I'm free today. And trust and believe, ladies and gentlemen, that freedom is very expensive. It's not, it ain't cheap. So your life ain't cheap either. So you are expensive. So how about we just start living the right way and not selling ourselves short and exchanging ourselves and lowering our standards to just get along with the get along and to live somebody else's dream. So live in truth. SOS, crazy self. Well, listen, there's two sides to everybody. So everybody got a little something in them. So I just know what my limits are and I know where I stand. And I'm like, listen, I know better than that. But free yourself. Fantasia's saying free yourself. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. And even though she's giving that person permission to free themselves, by having that type of conversation with somebody, by being truthful and being honest, we end up freeing ourselves. So the most beautiful thing is when we learn that we can't control people, places, and things, and we can just go ahead and let them go. We can tell people, hey, listen, this is who I am. I'm not lowering my standards. I'm not going ahead and backing up. I drew a long line in the sand, and this is who I am. So if you don't like it and you don't want me, go ahead and free yourself. By us doing that, allowing people to go, not attaching ourselves to people, letting people go. If someone wants to walk out on you, let them go. Once we learn how to do that, then we are the ones in reality who ends up becoming free. Let them go. Where it becomes a problem is when we attach ourselves to people and we can't let people go. I used to tell people, free yourself, and then I would turn around and tell them, please come back. Now, after I done told you to go ahead and free yourself, why was I the person who was turning around, begging and pleading and asking you to come back? Where do we get this from? Well, we end up doing some things that our parents do. And subconsciously, we pick up some of the things that they do. So, through different conversation and through stories speaking to my father was that type of person. He was that type of person that would say, free yourself, go away, get out of here, move on, do what you want to do. And the minute that that door closes, he was the one who turned around and was begging and turning into the Tasmanian devil, wanting you to come back. Lauryn Hill has a song too. I think it's the X Factor, where she basically speaks about how when we know that this isn't good and you tell me to leave, but then you turn around and begging me to stay. So I don't get it. So, you know, SOS says crazy self. That was a part of those years where I had a little, you know, nonsense going on there. But when you know better, you do better. And if you know who you are, they'll know who you are. The fact that I didn't know who I was, therefore they didn't know who I was. And they were able to test me and they were able to try me. But today, thankfully, I know better and I'm living in my truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, track 8, Living in Your Truth, song of the day, Truth Is by Fantasia, released in 2004 off of her Free Yourself album. Now, I want to talk to you about this. Now, this is great wisdom from the Buddha. And listen, if you're not living in your truth, you're going to be exposed. And that's one thing that I used to always fight about. And I used to always go back and forth about because I knew that I was living a lie and I didn't want to be exposed. So then part of me was like, this isn't real. And eventually this might turn upside down. And if it turns upside down, I'm going to look like a fool. So what I did was I exposed myself. And I remember older people saying growing up, don't let anybody tell your story. And that's exactly what started. People started to tell Laren's story. And I said, oh no. Actually, I said, oh hell no. And a couple other different things because I worked so hard to get to where I'm at here today that I'm not going to let somebody come in and tell my story. You mean to tell me that I went through all of the trials, I went through all of the tribulations, I went through all of the things that I went through to turn around and have somebody else tell my story, somebody else turn around and get credit for all of the hard work that I've done? So I started to speak and I started to expose and I started to tell the truth about, my life and the things that I had going on in my life. And trust and believe that once you start to speak the truth about things that are going on in your world, people ain't gonna like it. And then the ones who are not down with you, and the ones who are not rocking with you, and the ones who are not riding with you, and the ones who ain't really real, they're gonna expose themselves and they're gonna start dropping off like flies. So the Buddha has something that is so profound, and the Buddha says there are three things cannot be long hidden. So you can't hide them for long. And the three things are the sun, because you know it's going to rise every single day. As long as you got breath in your lungs and you can get up and you can see, the sun is going to shine and you can't hide that. Yes, it will sunset, but tomorrow, the next day, the sun will rise again. And the other thing is the moon. We can't have one without the other. You can't have darkness without light. So, yes, you have some beautiful, wonderful people in this world, but you also got some evil, disrespectful, nasty people in this world, too. And that's just what makes the world go around. You can't have one of one and not one of the other. So, just as much as there's good as there's going to be evil, too. So, as the sun rises, the sun is going to set and the moon is going to appear. And the last thing that the Buddha said, one thing that you can't hide for so long, and that is the truth. So, anybody who is out there not living in their truth, not doing the right thing by themselves, meaning by you first, taking care of you first and doing the things that work well for you, you will be exposed. And it's going to show up in any type of way that it's going to show up, whether it be depression, whether it be somebody, exposes you and lets people know that you are not living, in your truthful self. And, you got some things that you're hiding, you got skeletons in your closet, whatever the case may be. What's done in darkness will come to light. So the Buddha says, and I love it so much because it's real, three things cannot be long hidden. You can't hide them for long. That's the sun, that's the moon, and that's the truth. And I'm going to speak to you all about the truth here too. If you've done everything that you possibly can do in your life and do right by people, and you have not been disrespectful, you have tried your best to do whatever you need to do for these people, whoever it is, whatever it is, and it's just not working, and somebody is doing something wrong and dirty to you, and somebody's backbiting, somebody's talking, somebody's being disrespectful, somebody's stealing, some people lying and scheming, don't worry about it. That person is showing you exactly who they are right at the front. They might think that they're stunting. They might think that they're doing all types of stuff to get you where they're going to get you. And all they want to do is get you to bite back at them and go back and forth with them. But if you stand your ground and stay exactly who you are and live in your truth and be just as good to them as you was from day one and accept them for who they are and accept that they have come into your life to teach you this lesson right here, you'll be all right. The truth will not be hidden that long. And the people who need to see, and the people who are in their right mind frame, and the people who are on a higher vibrational level that you are, will soon know that you are living in your truth and you are being true, and you are being true to yourself and being true to the people, places, and things around you. Yes. Ayanla Van Zant said, tell your story. What's up, Bird, man? I see you. Thank you so much for that out there. That used to really get me when I hear older people say, don't let anybody tell your story. And that's when somebody starts speaking about your life and starts speaking and saying things about your life as if they are living it. And nah, this is me. And I know, shout out to my friend, Miss Eugenia McCall from the Bronx, New York. And one thing why you can't tell somebody else's story, I can't say what's going on in SOS's life. I can't say what's going on in Birdman's life. I can't say what's going on in Carol's life because I'm not you. And I'm not living inside of you, and I don't know how it feels. So My friend Eugenia said, be very cautious when people say, I know how you feel, because you know what? You don't know how I feel. And the reason why you don't know how I feel is because you are not me and you are not living inside of me. So be very careful about letting somebody else tell your story, letting somebody else speak on your behalf, letting somebody else make decisions when it comes to what's going to make you happy and what works best for you. So live in your truth, speak up, stand up for yourself, love yourself, know thyself, and trust and believe you will be on a better plane. And that's what I got tonight. So now I want to go ahead and reach out to my friend, Mr. David Wayne Fox, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. But before I do so, I want to go ahead and share with y'all exactly who he is. I met him a couple years ago. We did a photo shoot. He came out to my hometown in Hamilton, New Jersey, and we did a photo shoot. And we've been talking ever since. He's been on my podcast. This is probably about the fourth or fifth time. And it's always a pleasure when I speak to him because, like I said, he's one of those friends that I haven't spoke to him in a long time. And when we pick up the phone and speak, it's like we have never skipped a beat. So I'm not sure if you have a friend out there who you haven't spoken to them in a long time, but the minute that you pick up the phone and start talking to them, or a minute that you go and visit them and you go and see them, you guys felt like you haven't been, distant from each other. So Mr. David Wayne Fox wears many hats, including that of an optician and an optical lab tech. He is the composer of the 2010 off-Broadway production of Rhoda Heartbreak, starring Drag Race alumni Mimi First. In the acting world, he is a snarky blogger in the indie feature Chet and Elsa Go Cartooning, which was released in 2015. This film can be found on Amazon Prime and YouTube, and he can be seen in numerous other movies and TV shows. He is also painted in acrylics, and he is currently enjoying creating virtual worlds and galleries for what is loosely known as the metaverse. So for people out there who do not know what the metaverse is, it's basically virtual reality. So he is an artist, he paints things, he is known for his wonderful photography, and now he's starting to dabble in creating these virtual worlds and, showcasing his art in these virtual galleries, which is amazing. So for those of you, please check out David Wayne Fox Photography, and I'm sure he has the link in his bio, and I'm also going to get him to speak about it tonight as far as letting us know where you can check out his artwork and these wonderful galleries that he has been working on. So if I can get everything set up tonight and everything's working well, we should be able to pull up Mr. David Wayne Fox right now.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. Just sitting here looking at my Christmas tree and my lights in my room. How are you, Larry?
I'm doing good. I don't have a Christmas tree just yet, but seems like you were ahead of the game, so that's what's up.
Oh, I'm a sucker for decking the halls.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. That's good. That's good. So, what have you been up to?
Oh, well, since the last time we talked on air, not a lot, not as much as I was doing last year. It's been a very chill year for me, and I think a lot of this year has just been a recharging from 2020, 2021, bit of 22. It was, the last 3 years have been just kind of very volatile. And I think this year I just chose to kind of recharge my batteries. And so, yeah.
That's a great... That's a great analogy, very volatile. And I would say that is so true because that's how 2022 was for me. And, the topic tonight is living truth. And I feel like now, even though I've been doing this for so many years, 3 years, so many years, but this is my third year. But I feel that now this is really authentic. This is really true. And it was volatile for me in 2022 and 2021. And even though I was out here podcasting and doing so many things, I felt like back then I wasn't living in my truth. I had to have a reality check. So 2023 for me was a reality check of getting it together, start lining things up properly, and start living in, you know, what my world here truthfully. So,
Right.
we spoke off air. Let me tell you, like, 2023 was like, you know, like what you said. It was recharging, growth, learning, growing, so that you know I can continue to be here for the long haul. That's pretty much what it was.
And that's so important to take time to do that for yourself. And sometimes you just need that time to recharge, meditate, pray, do whatever your soul requires. And for me, it was I haven't been sure what my reality has been the last year. I'm like, what are my goals? I'm of a certain age. I'm more or less a senior citizen now, although I don't think of myself as such. But I'm just kind of thinking, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And then I come to the conclusion, and this is the conclusion I always come to every time I go through this kind of stage, is that it's all about the journey. I don't have to have a really set goal. I don't discount the fact that it's not a bad thing to have goals, but sometimes it's just about the journey and the experiences you have along the way and the people you meet and the friends you make.
Absolutely. Now, I have a question. Do you journal?
I actually used to do journals of my dreams, which was very interesting when I was doing dream psychology.
But that's so funny. I started doing my dreams this year, actually, and I quickly stopped that right away because, we create our own realities, and whatever you think about during the daytime enough, you will bring, to you at night. And certain people started to show up in my dreams that I didn't want to. So I'm like, the fact that I'm writing it down and I'm also reading it again, it's almost like retraining me to think about this situation. So I just stopped recording my dreams because it was weird.
Wow.
It got a little too much.
I did write a memoir a few years ago, which was interesting. It was about all the famous people I've met in my life, and it was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was. I never had it published or anything. It was more for my friends and family to read than anything, because I would probably have all kinds of lawsuits on me if I tried to publish it. Just mentioning all these famous people. But
wow.
Living in New York and working on Madison Avenue for the years that I did.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that I had some interesting stories about. But yeah, I was keeping a diary when I was 10 years old. I remember I still have that little diary. It had a little lock on it. I'm like, Tammy looked at me today, and I think she likes me.
Burning questions. Have you read anybody's diary? Oh my goodness. I'm not even going to answer that, but you already know the answer.
No, not me.
And burning questions. What did you do when you saw that you were written in that person's journal or diary? Ugh. Is that like an invasion of privacy? Is that like bad karma when you read somebody's diary or journal?
Probably. Oh my gosh. I'm like the kind of person that doesn't want to open his Christmas presents ahead of time either. So I'm pretty
see,
good.
That's good, because I was the person.
I'm pretty good at not sneaking in and doing things like that, because I don't want to jinx it.
That is a good point. We're not supposed to know things, and we shouldn't be digging into things. And I was always so impatient and always so wanting this, and this. And I think that's why I had a lot of hell in my life, because I couldn't wait and I couldn't just live in the moment. I couldn't just embrace things as they are. But I'm learning today to just go with the flow. Like, I've had some great experiences just by going with the flow, like what you just said, just not overthinking things, just showing up and being who I am. And some great experiences happened. Like, I went to the Mary J. Blige concert last year and met some great people, some wonderful people, to
Well, I
put
know
it
how
that
much you
way.
love her, so that must have been a great experience.
Oh, it was. I thank you, Mary, because that was a great experience. We had a great time sampling her Sun Goddess wine. Let me tell you that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I remember back when I lived in Colorado, I had a friend that was going through some tough times, and he was particularly down and just wondering where he was going with his life, and was very having kind of an existential crisis. And I was driving home after we had parted ways, and a little voice popped into my head, and this is the first and only time this happened that I can recall. But this little voice was just telling me, tell your friend, tell Ken, that sometimes it's enough simply to be. And okay. So when I got home, I called up, I said, Ken, I had a message from heaven knows where. Maybe it was heaven. But I passed on that message to him. Ken, the message was, sometimes it's enough simply to be. And he told me later, he said, thanks, Dave, kind of like, what the heck is this, But later on, he was like, Dave, I really benefited from that message, wherever it came from. So thank you for passing that on.
I mean, it is like, listen, it's okay to be yourself. Like, it's okay to be. Like, and that's what I have to tell myself. Like, it's all right. It is okay. You are going to be this podcasting person who, Mary J. Blige fan, wine drinker, whatever it is that I am. You're just going to be, and that's just it. And once I learn how to be, like you said, live in my truth and be exactly who I am, things started to change. I was no longer going again. It was like before I started to be myself, I was going against the grain. It was always a fight. It was always a struggle. I have to, make myself up to be in this situation. I have to, talk myself into a situation, and so much anxiety and so much pressure and so much drama just to get to, wherever we're going to get to. And then it ended up being a disaster because I wasn't living in my truth. So the fact that I say to hell with all of that, if you're going to leave, get the F out. If you're going to go, leave. The fact that I can just show up and be who I am now, I can just breathe. Like, whatever. Like, if you don't like it, that's cool. When people walk out on me today, I actually say thank you. Thank you, God, for revealing this person to me, because now I know that they're not the one. Some people get all bent out of shape and try to hold on to things and hold on to people. In reality, you just need to inhale, you need to exhale and say, thank you so much for that lesson. Thank you so much for that revelation. Thank you so much for, bringing that to my attention, because now I know that this person is who they are.
Yeah. And gratitude is so important. Even gratitude for things that haven't happened yet.
That haven't happened yet. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for my health, my continued health throughout my entire life.
Absolutely.
Thank you for, it's because you're manifesting it.
Absolutely.
By creating gratitude, you're manifesting it.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that.
I never, what's going on, Stephen Marcus Relaford? I said, I see West Virginia Uncommon Podcast out there. You asked how Florida was. It is just amazing. It's beautiful, like 79, 80 degrees. I'm walking around, with no jacket on, and I'm enjoying it and loving it. I went for a drive today and just checking out the scenery, looking at the palm trees and just reminiscing and, like you said, manifesting, speaking positive things into my life, seeing exactly where I'm going. Like, that's where I'm at. SOS.
Yeah, that's horrible.
SOS says, when I journal my feeling about my marriage, my ex husband used my personal information against me. Oof, that's a whole nother topic about these exes and the things. But like I said, if you're living in your truth and you know you've done everything you possibly can do, these exes, these friends, these fake foes who claim that they love you when they don't, trust and believe that you can't hide the truth for too long. It's going to end up revealing itself. What's done in darkness will come to light. I've had people come on a 411 podcast and reach out to me and say, "Hey, listen, I need to, holler at you for a minute." And I'm like, "Really? Okay, thank you." Or I bump into somebody and they give me some great information about, somebody, who was plotting and scheming and thinking they were going to do something. So God
Wow.
will reveal things to you in so many different ways that you wouldn't even believe.
And I think if you're true to yourself, I think your instincts become better about who else is true.
Absolutely. That is one thing I'm so thankful for. Like I call it being able to separate the bullshit from the truth. Because now when people step to me, because I don't make such quick decisions and because this person shows up, oh my God, this is the love of my life. Hell no. When this person shows up, I need you to tell me exactly everything you're gonna tell me. Because if I sit tight long enough and I do my research, you're gonna end up showing me who you are long before. Instead of before, when I met somebody, I'd be like, oh my God, this is the one. Let's, run and, shack up together and let's run and let's do this and do that. And then next thing you know, you wake up and you're like, now what the hell did I do that for? And then now that I got you here, how the hell do I get you out? Like, ladies and gentlemen, the most important real estate that we have in this world is our mental real estate. So don't let nobody start clouding up and taking up too much of your mental real estate, especially if they ain't paying rent.
Exactly.
You sitting here, and I'm speaking to the younger me, and the younger me might have been just me last week, last month, 6 months ago. You sitting here daydreaming about this person and fantasizing about this person, and they could give two craps about you. They often moved on to the next person. That's a person robbing your mental real estate and taking up too much space and too much time.
Yeah, and I mean, fantasies are healthy up to a point, but yeah, when
I feel you.
When they start taking over your life, and that's been a whole topic of discussion since I've lately been into this virtual reality thing. It's like how much of this is too much.
Exactly.
And it's how often am I going to spend time in the metaverse and wearing my Quest headset and to the detriment of actually getting together with real friends.
Well,
or at least friends that I can see physically. So
what I've heard is that's what the new reality is, that we're all going to be having these headsets on and actually feeling like we're in the room with other people. So they've been doing it for years. And what I heard about when it comes to this technology and stuff is that they display it now and they're giving you bits and pieces. This is the new metaverse. This is, the new virtual reality. There's these cool headsets and they're coming out. I think Apple or whoever came out with one maybe about a year or two ago.
Yeah.
I've heard that this technology has been out 10 years ago and they've been using it for the longest time. And they're just basically, spoon feeding us, but they already know what the outcome is.
It's starting to get more prevalent too. The Quest 2 headsets sold several million copies from what I understand, and I got mine last January. And honestly, a lot of my years creating stories and things like that. I mean, the reason I got it was not for gaming, because a lot of people get these things for gaming, but I got them to help with my art and my photography and actually show my pieces in galleries that people from all over the world can come visit. And
that's amazing.
It's actually been beneficial to me. I've sold a few pieces just based on my galleries in the metaverse, and so like any tool, it can be abused, but
Mm-hmm.
like any tool, it can also be very beneficial if it's used properly.
Right, right. You got my mind thinking. We were talking about so many different things. How about dating in the metaverse? Do you think that that's going to change dating, like a virtual relationship, virtual reality relationship? Anybody down for a virtual reality relationship or dating a robot?
Well, that's AI. That's a whole other ball of wax there.
Well, I once said
but I
that. I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt, but I once said that.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I once said that I'd be cool with dating a robot, but then they have movies like Meg and all of these other things where the robot starts to do what the hell it wants to do and starts talking back. Now we got a problem because what the hell am I going to put up with you talking back for? That sounds like a regular person.
Exactly. What's the difference?
Right. You know what I'm saying? If I program you to do this and you turn around and do what you want to do, hell, what's the point?
I mean, if the life form is silicone based or flesh and blood, it really doesn't make any difference if they talk back to you.
Oh my
The only
goodness.
the only thing is the robot may not be get as tired as a real person when you're in bed. But
Oh my goodness. How about the robot starts to ration out and change and start to speak to you about that too and say, no, I don't feel like it. That could be a whole situation too.
yes, sorry, I have a headache.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. So
Oh,
how is Brooklyn? We didn't speak about Brooklyn and the weather and you said you like to deck the halls. So I will tell you that New York is
yeah.
very festive. New York is wonderful during this time frame. I love walking around just for a little bit, but after that it's a little cold and I'm not really feeling it. So you like to embrace the cold weather this time of year?
I'm not a cold weather person. I mean, I wouldn't mind having like Phoenix, Arizona type of weather, or even Florida type of weather, instead of this, the cold. I like it sort of at the beginning of the season because it does get me kind of in a holiday mood.
Mm-hmm.
But once we get into January, I'm over it.
I hear you.
I'm over it, and then when it goes into February, March, April, I'm like, we're still having 30, 40 degree weather. I'm just like, okay, enough already.
Yeah.
So I'm not really a cold weather person. I have a friend who's very much a cold weather person. I'm just like, well, you can have it, but no, not me.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I'm not it. It really hit me like coming here to Florida and being in Jersey, Philly area prior to getting on the plane. And I got this big old jacket and I'm all bundled up and it was really freezing cold to get here and to be like two different worlds. And it's like, why would you want to sign up to be in a cold weather environment? And then I
Yeah.
always ask myself, and I've asked my mom this plenty of times, and you know, who the hell wants to live in New Jersey? Why do you want to live in New Jersey? I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
Listen.
I went to see my family at Thanksgiving, and they're in Arizona, in the Phoenix area, and that was it was delightful.
And you questioned yourself and say, why the hell do I live in New York?
I question myself until I get on the subway and I get off in the city in Manhattan. And every time I get off the subway in Manhattan, I get that little thrill of being in New York, and it brings it back to me. Even though my goals and my dreams have changed or evolved or devolved since I moved here 15 years ago, I still feel that little thrill when I'm in Manhattan and get into the city and just walk around. There's something just about it that I absolutely love.
Well, that's good.
So,
that's good.
I can honestly say I don't get tired of living in New York, even though the weather may get a little much sometimes. Denver for 20 years, and the weather there is much worse than here. So I can't complain too much.
I heard so much about Colorado being so bad. We had Jonathan Martin Ives a couple nights ago, and he's speaking about how cold it is. And I was going to visit Colorado, but then when I started to see how cold it was, my response was absolutely not. Like, I'll see you in the summertime. I'm not going in the wintertime.
Exactly. Spring and summer are the time to go there. Their summers are beautiful.
SOS says New York City is so sexy at Christmas. I'm definitely not a cold weather person, but I do love New York. When I get to New York, I'm like, oh my God, this is exciting. But I will tell you, by the end of the day, once I get on that train or I touch down back into New Jersey, I'm like, thank God I'm home. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to live there, but I do like visiting there.
I never would have thought I wanted to live here, but the first time I visited here in 2002, something hit me over the head. I was just like, I could definitely live here.
Really?
And
I'm thinking about that time when I got off the train and I called you, and you're like, "Yeah, you walk down this way, turn here, it'll be right there." And I'm like, no, no, I don't see where I'm supposed to see. I don't see this. This person over here is questioning me, telling me to come here, checking me out. Oh, hell no. Let me get the. I almost would.
I wouldn't mind being checked out if I'm in certain parts of town. If you're in
Well, let me tell you, the person that was
Chelsea or something.
the person that was checking me out, I didn't want them to check me out. Put it that way. I'm like,
Well,
oh
fair
hell
enough.
no. SOS went to Brownstone. You lived in a brownstone before, didn't you, David?
No, I never lived in a brownstone.
No.
I do live in a house now. It's like a house from 1920, but I've never lived in a brownstone. I've had some friends that have, but not me.
Okay. I know they're huge, and I think I remember seeing a movie where somebody was trying to like capture or murder people who were in a brownstone, but it was so big that they were able to escape and move around and elude the bad guys.
Oh, that sounds more like a big apartment or something.
Yeah, whatever it was, it had all these little hidden spaces and all that stuff, and it was a huge brownstone. But anything
Yeah.
that's huge like that, I don't want any parts of it. I've changed from wanting like huge, large spaces to something that's nice and small and cozy. That's the vibe that I
Yeah.
have now.
Yeah. I get that. The bigger my space is, the more I have to clean, and that's not something I enjoy doing.
I feel you on that. So now comes the time of the show where we do burning questions. SOS says stop, Laren. We do burning questions. So this is a segment of the show where I basically flip it and put my guest in a hot seat. So if you have a burning question that you'd like me to answer, you want me to bring up, or if there's anything that you'd like to respond on tonight's burning question, you can text me at 609-738-0611. Again, that number is 609-738-0611. That is the official 411 podcast hotline. So are you ready for the burning question tonight?
I am.
Okay. Burning question is, and I want everyone to listen to this and give me your response on this. If the only way to remain with the love of your life is to wake up tomorrow and live in an unfamiliar place and culture, so if the only way to remain with the love of your life is to wake up tomorrow and live in an unfamiliar place and culture, cut off from your friends and family forever, are you willing to take that bait?
It's a good question. And it's funny because my first impulse would be to say, unless you live in the land of Oz, then absolutely not. But
There's a but on there. Uh-oh.
yeah, the love of my life that I don't know if that's an honest answer. Because if the love of my life was also my best friend, then I might have to go, and I would say my brother's like that. My brother is married to a woman that is also his best friend, and she's absolutely wonderful. And so if I had a relationship like that, then I might be inclined to say yes, I'll go anywhere with you. And so the question isn't as easy. I guess that's why it's a burning question and not an ice cold question. It's a little more complex than it seems right off the bat. So I would say if it was probably a more casual relationship, then absolutely not. But if it was the love of my life, I think I might be more inclined to say yes.
Now, I'm going to give you a little insight as far as my response to this burning question. So, I have a new series that's coming out next month, which I will dive deep into the burning questions a little bit more. I know we touched base on it here, but when the new series come out, you're going to get some real deep depth diving into these burning questions so that everybody comes out with a good understanding of it. So this burning question is so strange because this actually happened to me. And what was it, last year or the year? I can't even think. I think it was last year. I went to France. So I went to visit France as what I thought would be like a love of my life situation, which was a little foolish anyway, because, you just don't find the love of your life. You don't meet them overnight like that. And I'm thinking that this is just some fantasy type stuff. So I'm already looking at it from the wrong aspect. But there were some times when I thought, can I put myself in this environment and, move away from where I'm at and live in this environment to be with this specific individual? But where it became a problem is like when I said live in an unfamiliar place and a culture. Excuse me. Had to take a drink. An unfamiliar place and culture. That's where you don't speak that language. You don't know where it's at. You don't know your ins and outs. See, where we're at now in our environment, we know how to get to A, B, C, D, and we know how to do things and we can be independent. But it's a problem when you have to rely on your spouse to keep feeding you every day, to keep you living. And it was a life changing experience for me and it's something that I needed to happen, that I needed to go to an unfamiliar place and an unfamiliar culture so that I can realize that at that moment I was powerless. And what I've learned is that coming back to the States after that, and that's why I knew it was life changing for me, is that I never want to be put in a situation ever again where I lose my power and I give up my power to somebody else, because I've given up my power in this relationship, that relationship, this relationship. And I didn't realize it, but I had to go all the way to another country to realize that, damn, like, you didn't know you was giving up your power before. I'm really going to show you what it's like when you give up your power and you can't do nothing about it. So,
well, it's a question with a lot of layers and a lot of possible answers.
Absolutely.
If you feel like, and I think it would depend on a lot of different things. Is it a strange land or culture that you love, or that you think you could learn to love, or is it a place to where you could find your power, your job, your place in that culture? It's just, from your standpoint, I totally see what you're saying, and but if somebody wanted me to go to France to live with them, I would probably just drop everything and say, hell yeah.
Listen, do you know how to speak the language? Because I thought the same thing.
I don't.
Well, let me tell you, that was life changing for me, because when I was in those situations, I couldn't even buy a bottle of water. And I mean, I bought a bottle of water, but when I was getting my change back, I didn't know what the hell I was getting back, and I'm like, nah, this ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah,
This
there's
ain't gonna
definitely
do
a
it.
learning curve there for sure.
So I mean, nice people, culture was wonderful, but um, it taught me about traveling too, traveling to these places and not knowing how to speak the language and stuff. Listen, I go on guided tours today, so I need to get to and from. We ain't doing too much when it comes to traveling to some places where I don't speak the language. So
Yeah, I mean, I've been to France, but only for 3 days, and I found enough people that at least do a little bit of English, but I could see how it could definitely be a problem in a long term situation.
did you you did Paris, of course, right? That's where you flew into.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I didn't have time to do anything else. The whole week or the whole trip was just 2 weeks, and most of it was in England.
oh,
And
that's amazing.
I basically speak that language, so.
Yeah, I definitely want to get to the UK and stuff, Germany, all of that great stuff. But guided tours, let me tell you, because
Yeah, just don't go to Italy
and why is that?
because they have all those statues, Laren.
Oh, thank you for that. That'll be probably be the last place I go.
Fair warning.
I saw a couple of those statues in France, and I was like, not a fan of it at all. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah, but Italy's all about statues, from what I hear. My brother's been there, and I saw his pictures, and they were all statues.
Mm, nice.
I was thinking Laren would not like this place.
No, anything that resembles a human or an animal of a certain height, I'm good. I'm real
Yeah.
good. Well, I can't believe that it's time to go already. This hour went
No,
this hour went by so fast. But I will tell you
not
that
already.
whenever you come on, it's just so amazing. It's so fun. The conversation that we have, it's like I said, we pick up like right where we just left off, and it's amazing. I wish you nothing but success out there in New York, and I got some things coming up in the future, so I'm sure I will be in the New York area soon, and we definitely have to
I look forward to it.
hang out soon. So
Absolutely.
before we go, please let everybody know where they can check you out, your website, the virtual reality stuff, where they can check out your artwork, all of that good stuff.
So my galleries can be seen in Spatial. It's SPATIAL.io. That's the website where my virtual galleries can be found. And if you do a search for Dave Fox, you'll find me. My Instagram is David Wayne Fox Photography. And those are the two main places to find me right now. Oh, and my Etsy shop is David Wayne Fox Studio. And my Etsy shop, I started it in 2020 during COVID, and it's still going strong. So I've got some beautiful photos there of their mostly architecture and landscape, and a lot of people like to buy them for Christmas gifts. So pop on in and take a look.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Please go ahead and check out Mr. David Wayne Fox, my friend from Brooklyn, New York. Very talented. You wear multiple hats, and you do a great job. So continue to keep doing what you're doing, and we will definitely be in touch. And I'll be talking to you soon. And stay safe. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, all of that great stuff.
And happy holidays to you, Larry.
Happy holidays, everything.
Joy. I just thought I'd throw it all in at once.
Absolutely, everything.
Happy everything.
Yes. I will be in touch. Take care. Thank you so much for coming on.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That was my friend, David Wayne Fox. And I have to say, what a great show tonight. What an awesome show, great experience. I love speaking to David. It's like, we, like I said, just pick up right where we left off. So if you'd like to experience this conversation with me on one basis, you can head on over to LarenGaines.com and you can sign up for the coaching session. So I have one private conversation sessions where we go back and forth and we can discuss any type of topic themes that you'd like to go on, whatever journey you like to go down. Thank you so much, SOS. You have a wonderful night. Carol Cordera, thank you so much. I will be in touch with you soon. And yes, I do not like statues. So no human statues at all. I've watched too many horror movies back in the day that turned my mind a certain way. So statues are definitely not it. But sign up for those coaching sessions, one private conversations set up to cater your needs. You can handle that at LarenGaines.com. We have Ian West, folk singer, tomorrow, right here, broadcasting live from Celebration, Florida. Can't wait to speak to him. We have Retta Flag, author Retta Flag coming, and we also have Birdman. I saw him out there. Thank you so much, Birdman. Coming on Reading Between the Wines real soon. Remember, Reading Between the Wines is Wednesday and Friday, 2 shows a week. So check out Birdman and author Retta Flag coming up very soon. We have Ian West tomorrow, and I want you to look at the background. I'm sure people on YouTube, Facebook, you'll be able to get a better visual. I'm sort of blocking Instagram and the others, but look at the visual on the back as far as the condo that I'm staying in. And the condo that I'm staying in now is actually very, very large for me staying here by myself, but it works out that way sometimes. So I have a 2 bedroom, I have 2 bathrooms, 2 full bathrooms, 2 bedrooms. I have a dining room, which I'm sitting in right now, and I have a living room. The kitchen is behind me. I have a washer or dryer. So if you like to vacation, such as I like to vacation like that, that's how I like to live. It's almost like a home away from home. So if you want to move into a bigger space, you want to have a full kitchen, you want to be able to cook while you're on vacation. My thing is I love to make sure that my clothes are clean before hopping on a plane, because when I get home, the last thing that I want to do is open up my suitcase and start doing a whole bunch of laundry. So if you like the condominium lifestyle, I can offer you that by vacationing with me. You can text me at 609-730-611. You can also DM me. Let me know exactly where you'd like to travel. I can help you out any place in the country, and I also do international travel as well. I can help you with your itinerary if you are looking for a specific set of different goals that you like to meet, places you like to visit while you're on vacation. I can help you with that as well, and I can draw a whole itinerary, help you save some money, and help you vacation away from home away from home. One thing that I love is the balcony. Most units have a balcony or a patio for you to hang out on, screened in, so the bugs and stuff can't get you. You can actually fall asleep outside if you like and not have to worry about anything getting you. So, vacation with me. Text me at 609-738-0611 if you're into a condominium lifestyle. Some people may not be into this. I'm very much like this. You can also order room service at certain places if you like. I don't want to do anything. I ain't cutting no grass. I'm not sweeping up anything. So, Airbnbs and all of that stuff and cleaning up stuff afterwards, I don't want to do that. I let somebody else handle that. So if you want to vacation in a condominium lifestyle, reach out to me, 609-738-0611. So I know that I have been discussing a lot of stuff. And I said, so far, Disc 3 evolution has been wonderful. It's been amazing. It's been everything that I can dream of and think of. So what I am doing for everybody is getting all of the different things that I have going on, because I have it's like a wheel. I got so many different aspects of Black Diamond Productions. We have the 411 podcast. We have Reading Between the Wines. I got the My Inspiration books. I have the vacation with me. I have the coaching sessions now. So many different things going on. So to keep up to date with all of the things that are going on with LarenGaines.com, you can actually head on over to LarenGaines.com and sign up for the Whispers of Wisdom newsletter. So I have a brand new newsletter that's coming out once a month. So one simple email delivered to your inbox once a month, and it's going to give you a little bit of insight of all of the different things that I just spoke about. You're going to get clips from the 4-in-1 podcast, Reading Between the Wines. You'll be able to find out about the, wineries that I visit or the bottle of wines that I'm sampling for the month, different vacation spots, different inspirational, quotes and small little nuggets and snippets and things like that. Whispers of Wisdom. Head on over to LarenGaines.com, the new newsletter that is coming out next month. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap. We are out of here. I want to say thank you to Mr. David Wayne Fox. SOS says, do you need some company? Hey, listen, it all depends. I was actually just scoping out my place. And like I said, I have a 2-bedroom place. And you never know, depending on who it is. Hey, we can vacation together. Just DM me and we can maybe, work some things out. But it's a wrap. Thank you so much to Mr. David Wayne Fox for coming on. I appreciate you. Wonderful conversation, wonderful friend as always. And we have Ian West coming in tomorrow, all the way from Tennessee. We're going to talk music. And I love speaking to him. And he's a down to earth person. And can't wait to catch up. So, on that note, I will see you when I see you. Take care, y'all. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.